Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture, joined by Phil Chambers from WhatCulture, getting ready ahead of our Survivor Series live stream. But first, we're going to bring you some news that has happened over the weekend, specifically Tony Khan shooting on WWE contracts. You see, over the weekend, TK was speaking on Busted Open and, decided to, have his say about WWE releasing, over 80 wrestlers or wrestling people over the past year. And he had his say on WWE contracts specifically, saying anybody who signs a contract in WWE these days isn't signing a real contract. In my opinion, it's a temporary arrangement. I think there are people who work there and they aren't even sure they're going to be there next week. There is a lot more security with a contract here. I can't say I'm going to extend every contract or bring every person back, but I also, through the last couple of years, have not been doing mass layoffs. Phil Chambers, we knew this day would come. He's a man who likes to stir the pot a bit, Tony Khan.
He is a little bit.
But he's kind of got a point here, hasn't he?
Yeah, you can't really argue with him, can you? I mean, it's true. Any contract that you sign there, there's clauses written all over it that WWE can cancel them whenever they want. The wrestlers can't cancel them whenever they want, but WWE very, very much can. It's a very, very one-sided contract.
Yeah, there used to be, the old spring cleaning that we used to get many, many years ago, and then that stopped. And WWE just sort of hoarded talent, as we often talk about when it comes to these sort of situations. But nowadays, it's not just, it's kind of the end of your contract and we can't be asked to renew it, best luck in your future endeavours. Yep. There are people, you can name them off the top of your head. You think of a while back, like Gallows and Anderson, who were promised inordinate sums of money to just stick around and not do Bullet Club anywhere else, basically. And then the moment came that they went, we need to tighten the belts a little bit. Budget cuts. What a load of bollocks that is, by the way. Yeah, and they were first on the chopping block despite the fact they'd signed new contracts. And then you think about more recently, specifically, everyone in Hit Row. B-Fab literally signed a main roster contract and was released about a week or two after that. And then the rest of them followed her out the door a couple of weeks later. It is one of those things where it's not really worth the paper it's written on.
No, well, it is in WWE's eyes. To them, it's 100% worth the paper it's written on.
Well, exactly. If it's the other way around,
doing everything that might benefit them outside as a independent contractor. But it still gives WWE the freedom to just can them whenever they want. Like a contract, the whole point of a legal contract is that you have something there that benefits both sides and that either side can't go against the contract, and it's like a tit for tat kind of thing where this person gets this, but we get this. And if you don't have that, then it's worthless. It's absolutely nothing.
Do you think it's going to change? Because, we talked about this not just in the wake of these releases all throughout this year, but the Twitch controversy of if you want to keep doing that, then you're going to have to give us the money that you earned from that, and that's going to go against your downside guarantee. Yeah. It doesn't feel like a lot of power is in wrestlers' hands. We always seem to circle back to the point about a wrestlers' union, but we were hoping that was going to happen in AEW, and that's not even happened there.
Yeah, of course, but there doesn't seem, I don't want to say as much need for it in AEW because they're not doing these things, but there's always still going to be a need for it.
And there's going to be releases from them.
Always going to be there. No, of course there will. There always will be. But when you start breaking it down in terms of what wrestlers are and aren't allowed to do within the basis of these contracts, but then what WWE are allowed to do, which gives them so much more freedom than the wrestlers could ever dream of in their independent contractor status. That's just not. It's not independent contractors. They're absolutely not. They are 100% employees because they're not allowed to do anything else.
Exactly, yes. Well, as if you needed any more encouragement, do let us know your thoughts on that in the comments section below. Oh, it's going to be spicy down there, I can tell. But it is, of course, Survivor Series Day, 25 years of the greatest wrestler of all time, Fight Me. As one Survivor Series tonight, I should point out, if you're watching this before our stream starts, very quick turnaround. Well done, Phil Chambers, on editing this and joining us for our live stream. There is one match that has been moved to the kickoff show. Surprise, surprise! It's the two guys fighting for the with the mid-card titles. The IC champion and the US champion, specifically Shinsuke Nakamura and Damian Priest. They will be fighting on the kickoff show because they've got to make room on the main card for some ridiculous 25-man battle royal. But enough about all that, Phil Chambers. Someone is making history on tonight's show.
Indeed, there is quite the milestone for one Randy Orton coming up tonight on Survivor Series, because in his match tonight, he will officially become the wrestler in WWE with the most amount of pay-per-view matches of anyone of all time. Currently, he is tied with Kane at 176 pay-per-view matches.
That's too many.
Tonight is the big one, the 177, the most pay-per-viewed man in all of WWE. And he also put this up on Twitter, just doing a nice tweet about, like, he doesn't always look at the stats, but when something like this comes out, it's like, this is really special.
Yeah.
And also, if he wrestles on Raw tomorrow night, he'll also become the guy who's wrestled on Raw more than anybody else in the history of Raw. Also currently held by Kane.
Yeah, I saw a really nice post from John Cena describing his record as, I think, mythical.
Yes.
I will say it's a phenomenal achievement, first of all. I'm going to inevitably bury him in a second. But to achieve something like that, and like you say, take records away from a legend like Kane is no mean feat. Having said all that, now I've given him that, I can say this. He is someone who has not thrilled me that many times on pay-per-view.
No.
I think I can count on one hand, like, memorable pay-per-view moments from Randy Orton, and one of them was just when Seth Rollins went, whoop! So there's that at WrestleMania, and that, you know, that's more on Rollins more for me than Randy Orton. But still, hell of an achievement.
It is, yeah. He also wrestles he wrestles a style that will let him keep wrestling forever.
Yes.
Let's say.
Conservative style.
This streak is going to continue, and this record is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point where I really don't see anybody ever surpassing this.
I think it's one of those where when Kane had that record, you thought, is there anyone else that's going to do it? And then Orton's just sort of stuck around. And fair play to him, because a few years back we were going, is there anything else he can do? And he's reinvented himself a few times. He was, you know, it wasn't great when they eventually got to the match, but he got me interested in a Randy Orton title match, which is a hell of an achievement when it comes to the world title. When he fought Kofi Kingston, stupid. Yeah. Although the match itself was, well, it went to a countdown, didn't it? Because he got distracted by Kofi Kingston's son on the first pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, like now, I really like this new dynamic of him with Riddle and the tag champions.
Something different. It's at least entertaining.
And I'm already fantasy booking Orton at the Rumble and at WrestleMania to have sort of, you know, not world title related maneuvers, but important roles. Like we've seen RK Bro split coming from the moment it actually happened.
Yes.
But it could factor into the Rumble.
One of them chucking out the other one at the Rumble and lead into a Mania match or something. I can 100% see this happening. They've got enough chemistry to build this.
There's a good dynamic there.
As a good mid-card, put over Riddle kind of match.
Exactly. Well, let us know your thoughts on this phenomenal achievement, to be fair to him, former Randy Orton, and the fact he's going to break another record on Monday Night Raw as well very soon. And on the Tony Khan situation and WWE contracts on the whole. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. Myself and Michael Hamflett will be sitting down immediately after Survivor Series to discuss all the goings on. And if you're watching this before Survivor Series, join me and Phil Chambers from midnight tonight here in the UK for our live stream and reactions. But for now, this has been the news. My thanks to Phil Chambers. Thank you for joining us. You can follow him on Twitter at PhilMyChambers. Follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. And we will see you soon.